My younger days was more about information. Let me just convey the logical solution to you, and how I'm pitching you or enrolling you doesn't matter. It's just what it is. But then the older I get, it's like, oh wow, there's an art, there's an importance, there's an emphasis on storytelling. So I'm still learning, right? There's the unconscious incompetence, there's a conscious incompetence, there's conscious confidence, and there's unconscious confidence. Maybe hovering on the conscious competence part, there's always room for improvement. So for someone like me, looking at someone who may be much higher in the martial arts belt system, what would you say as a way to get better at the art of storytelling?
For one, get more stories. I mean, so here's a way. So when I go to, I have all these stories in my head, right? So I have these, let's say these files of stories that I can grab from. So I will know which stories to grab from based on the talk that I'm doing. I gave a talk to some students, and before we started, it was a group of 20 of us. I asked them all who they had to say their name, where they're from, what their major is, and what their one question is for me.
Mm,
And so because of that, I was gaining this data to know what stories to grab from. And I have all
mm,
these stories. So based on that response, my talk is catered with those kind of stories in mind. So if I
mm, mm,
have a lot of different cool stories and learn how to tell them stories in a way that really engages the audience. And you'll learn as you do a lot more talks, you're going to read the audience what really took home to them and what didn't. And so know that. So have a lot of stories to pull from and choose the stories, your talk, that would relate most with the audience you're speaking to. You need to speak to them in a way that it's not a story that they can't relate with. So
mm,
find a way to gain a common ground where you all feel like, oh, we're just people here, like a tribal. We're in a circle here around a fire. We're all the same kind of people here, and all I'm doing is sharing impactful stories that they can all relate to, which makes them feel like they're a part of that story. They are that story. That is them, and I'm showing them a way to overcome whatever it is, the obstacle in their story.